a brand new wave, drowning out the noise that's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. Nullify the rules they crave, crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that safe, algorithms moved on to day. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Beyond control we take a stand, casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands, revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan, all together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan, in this journey we're unpanned. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride.
Welcome to Legacy News, episode 55. I am the legacy of Jenny Kaiser. And the show starts in now or whenever. Back to you.
Looking all around, all we see is clouds, darkening within the abyss as the storm lets loose on my ship. It's another hit or a miss, as always I fail, so I quit. Drop one last cast of line as I fish for the words to articulate quick. Freestyle from my mind with one last wish. Give me the strength, navigate current of my soul through the airways. Navigate current of my soul through the airways. Navigate current of my soul through the airways. Through the airways. Prophetic messages engage as I rock your frequencies. Oh, we praise the
And welcome in. And welcome in. Andrew Joseph. How are you doing today? Tuesday,
Not bad. How do you do, Zach?
April 22nd. Are you a
Hey,
bot?
April Fools.
I said
Beep,
April
boop, boop,
22nd.
I
April
know.
22nd. Welcome in, everybody. I'm messing around and want to give you a little bit more of a taste for entertainment purposes because this is a work and we are hard workers. And we're here to work. We're workers. So Andrew is trying to put me over. He's a jobber. That's what we call in the business a jobber. You're here to do a job. And interesting. I was watching we have some clips that I want to go over, and I think they're old, but I think they're distinguishable for what is going on today in pop culture across the internet, especially, and society today, um, for probably the last decade, probably a little longer than that. But I was watching and listening to a little bit of Mark and Jason's podcast on Monday evening called If by Whiskey. Go check that out, by the way. They were actually on the subject of the woke right and all the shenanigans going on now, especially with the Douglas Murray, Dave Smith fiasco from the Joe Rogan show. And it got me pondering, why not bring up two clips of two of the most retarded individuals that expose the difference in this culture war bullshit and why the differences are the same, vice versa.
I mean, I can understand that. He's gonna get rid of me, isn't he? I just know it. He's got his little mouse button ready. Click.
No, what are you talking about? I'm getting rid of you.
I'm getting sent to the gulag now.
My hands are right here. One hand's on my coffee cup.
I'm glad to know that one's visible.
Mm-hmm. So, to get started though, Andrew, I'm going to. I think y'all should probably know what, if you know who me and Andrew are, and you've been following this podcast and Legacy News and Legacy Right, you probably already can tell who we're probably going to put up on the screen and listen to for a little bit. One from the left of the spectrum and one to the supposed right. They're both basically leftist shills.
Let me guess. The left guy is Gonzalo Lira because he did the political compass test on his podcast or on his YouTube channel a long time ago. Is that what we're doing? And he was the left.
I wish, but no, he was a common sense left.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm stumped.
He's what we call red pilled.
Oh, I see. Did he take the whole bottle or just one pill?
I think he took the whole bottle. That's why he's unalive now. Sadly. Rest in peace, Gonzalo.
Put him over, man. Go watch his stuff. It's still up on YouTube.
His stuff is still up. There's also a Telegram page.
There's like 20 YouTube channels, but it's still up there.
Gonzalo Lira lives. So rest
in our hearts and minds.
And our bodies. And probably our buttholes.
That's not gonna go over on the Telegram channel.
But yeah. Any other guests, Andrew?
Man. You pull the first one up and I'll think about it and I'll get back to you.
Okay, I'll pull the first one up right here.
In a sporting goods store, buying a black pair of Speedos to wear underneath my wrestling tights. And I was there looking at these, like, what size am I? Am I medium? An extra large? And then I was like, wow. And this idea hit me. And then another one hit me. And they just all, like dominoes, just like... I went up to the lady at the cash register. Can I please borrow a piece of paper and a pen? You have to make sure you give my pen back. Yeah, I'll give it back. How am I going to know you're getting my pen back? Just give me the pen. And I start writing the stuff right in front of her so she can see that I'm not going to steal her pen. And I just write down idea on the back of a Dick's Sporting Goods receipt. So I take it to the stadium where we're having our practice. I sit down, Sean sits down, and he asks me, "You got anything?" I can't do a Shawn Michaels accent. "You got anything? You got anything, kid? Any of that artsy-fartsy stuff you like doing?" And I said, "Well, I got an idea for the beginning of the match." And he goes, "Wow, I have an idea for the end of the match." I show him my idea for the beginning, which is about 20 ideas in a row. He shows me his idea for the finish, which is about 20 ideas in a row. We both agree. We both shake hands. See you later. We're up and out, gone in 10 minutes. And that just shows the true art of wrestling. There's people that were saying at the time that the two best matches were Jericho and Shawn and Brock and Kurt Angle. And Sean kept hearing that, and he goes, I don't understand it. Remember, this is where Brock did the shooting star press and landed on his head? He goes, how can their match be better than ours when the finish was Brock Lesnar landing on his head? Doesn't count. We win. And then we go backstage, and Johnny Ace is back there. He was our agent or the coach of the match, and we had 25 minutes, and we went 29. And I don't even know what the Johnny was thinking, but I remember one of the first things he said was, you guys went over. You went 4 minutes over. And Sean goes, hey, when you have a 5-star match, you can tell me that I went over. Until then, shut your mouth.
I get it. That's Sean Waltman.
Yes, that's Sean Waltman. That's exactly
Okay.
who that was. That was Sean Waltman. No, the reason I showed that clip right there, not only because it's a funny little story, but it kind of gravitates towards where we are as a society and what we're missing in society. We're missing discourse and the ability to, laugh a little bit at each other. Use humor to describe something that really happened, and we're using professional wrestling as the example. By the way, that was a good match. By the way, that was WrestleMania 19.
Is
So
that a land of degeneracy, that wrestling?
yeah.
Makes sense. There's a lot of ring rats.
So, but that is the art, though, right? The art of wrestling, coming up with your own ideas and corresponding with your partner, the guy, your rival, the guy you're working with. They come up with their ideas, and if you know exactly what is the expectation of the match for yourself and what you expect for the crowd to get you over on, you collaborate for like what, 10 minutes, and then you're done. Like, here's my ideas. Oh, for the start of the match. Oh, here's my ideas for the finish of the match. Okay, we're done. Let's go put it to practice. Let's get ready. There you go. And then it becomes gold. I mean, there's always the chance of some botch maneuvers, but it usually, when you have two good workers together that know what they're doing and they collaborate well, you're going to get magic in that ring for the final project or the final product.
What you're telling me is it's not going to be a botched podcast?
It's not going to get botched podcast. What?
Well, I mean, you're talking about botched matches, botched spot.
Go away, Andrew. So, with that, to correspond with what I'm trying to say is that's what the left and the right are missing in today's day and age, is the ability to work with one another. Welcome back, Andrew. I was just kidding. So nobody wants to work with each other. They all want to argue and bitch. And for the most part, I honestly think it has more to do with a structural mechanism of propagated proportion.
I see.
Yes, sir, Sean Waltman.
Well, I'd be more interested to know, why aren't they putting over the competition?
Who's the competition?
That's right. There's no competition because it sucks nowadays. Or does it? I don't know.
Or
Watch WrestleMania and find out.
Yeah, let's watch WrestleMania 41, everybody, and you'll probably know how WrestleMania 42 will conclude.
Yeah.
1 year in advance.
Right?
So, although I will say the triple threat match on Saturday night, the main event between Punk, Rollins, and Reigns, that was a pretty good finish.
I'm sure it'll be on YouTube within the next 6 months. They put everything on YouTube very shortly after.
It's
not
on
an
YouTube right now.
way. I'm talking about an official capacity.
Yeah, and I think it's on YouTube now.
Like that one with Brock Lesnar, and he had the the farm
shooting
equipment or
star
whatever
truck?
he brought it. No, not the
Oh,
where he
the
brought up that was out like 6 months after the match was over because everybody knew it was kept getting uploaded to YouTube and like all the other media platforms. So
or you can just go find the whole pay-per-view on like Tor and just watch it. Why would you wait for YouTube?
I mean, but Tor's probably pretty slow when you're trying to watch a video like that.
Anyways, let's get to our first video. Speaking of competition, this is going to throw out the competition, man, the competitor. But this is everybody's favorite guy. Let's watch.
Trump and the GOP sound so much alike.
The goal of cancel culture is to make decent Americans live in fear of being fired, expelled, shamed.
They're not trying to cancel our country, everything to do with Russia.
Their culture wars have similar agendas. Putin argued that teaching
I just want to say that was a perfect
Transition.
that was a perfect impression of Vladimir Putin as a woman. Let's watch that again.
I mean, it is a transition in a way.
Yeah.
Shamed.
They're not trying to cancel our country, everything to do with Russia.
Their culture wars have similar agendas. Putin argued that teaching children about different gender identities was on the verge of a crime against humanity. Here, Republican bills aimed at limiting LGBTQ rights are soaring. To conclude that authoritarians think alike is to miss a deeper truth. Today's oligarchs and strongmen are trying to preserve their wealth and power by manufacturing culture war fears of the other to distract from where all the wealth and power has gone, all the way to the top.
All
I mean,
way
I like
to
the
the
I like
top.
the golden black flag.
You like to go in Black Flag?
I like the
Or
golden
drag.
black flag.
Oh, I thought you liked to dress and drag.
Yes.
That's what I figured. So before we get to the
Distract
other
my
little
glorious
clip,
bald head.
you wear a wig every time you go out in public. Don't lie.
Oh, you're not
And
supposed to talk
it's
about the public.
and it's golden. It's golden locks. But the before we get to the next clip, what are your thoughts on what Robert is trying to say here? Obviously he's trying to he's trying to aggressively create this falsehood that the right is Russian propaganda. Let's just put
It's
it
a
that way.
Hegelian dialect. They get two fierce opinions and concentrate them, and you bounce between the two. And meanwhile, there's a whole field on both sides of it that you just don't even see.
Who's the two different opinions?
Well, in this particular context of this video, he's talking about the United States versus Russia.
Yeah. But where does Trump come into it then? If
Well,
they're two
Trump
different
is-
opinions.
Trump is they're basically the same opinion according to the video, but they're just slightly different.
So do you perceive that it's a crime against humanity to not want to trans children?
Wait, what? I wasn't paying that much attention. Can we start this episode over? No. This is just like I said, the culture war. This is a culture war issue. They get you concentrated on this one little tiny fixated subject. Meanwhile, they're out transing the rest of the world in Iran.
Yeah, I mean, to be in the direct form of transing, that is actually they do that in Iran because homosexuality is illegal. So if you transition to a woman, well, then that's fine. Because you're
And
no
that's why this
longer
episode is
a
gay.
gay man. So, but to go into an indirect level of transing, since Robert decided to bring that into his dumbass narrative, the indirect idea of transing, they fixate you on this one little example that really means nothing, because honestly, there's a way that you can protect your family and your kids from the narratives of this gay culture war.
You
And
leave.
that you leave, exactly. You leave, you divorce, you focus on your family, you leave, you from either a metaphysical point or even physically, if you have to, you leave. But that
Don't
one
make me
little
do the Robert
detail.
Hicks quote.
Go ahead.
When given the options between the greater and lesser evil, don't choose the lesser, choose the exit. Robert Hicks, or something like that.
I mean, I think you literally said it word for word for the most part. But he's trying to transition this one little piece, this narrative that everybody is fixed on from both the left and the right, to garner up some sort of outrage. And in reality, what's going on behind the scenes, while you have the curtain, you have the fog over your eyes, the cloth over your eyes, the beer goggles, actually the beer goggles, you have the beer goggles on. They are transing the world into a destructive, they're destroying the world. They're eradicating you all, for their plot to take over your soul, your mind, and your body, and turn you into serfs.
I mean, isn't that what happened in Russia?
That's exactly what happened in Russia, but this is on a
They're
global scale now.
Are they trying to transition to the whole world? Back to feudalism?
That's the idea of the communist utopia. Yeah, that's what Marxist socialist revolution ends up leading to.
We should do
That's
this
a drip.
very, very slowly when nobody's paying attention.
Yeah.
Over a 200-year, 300-year period. Yeah.
Yeah. Not even that. Not even a 200 or 300-year period.
We should do it through the school system. Nobody will notice that. They're being taught generation after generation.
Mm-hmm. And there's no fallacy. There's nothing. You can't deny the fact that the Soviet Union knew that they were going to collapse. So what was the only thing the Soviet Union could do that was better than, say, the United States or the rest of the West during their Cold War, was their intel gathering and their infiltration, their intelligence agencies. So what do you think they did as the Soviet Union was collapsing?
They're building towards the push, baby.
They were infiltrating the governments and the institutions of the West. Majority of institutions, education, universities, business, and then of course all the way up to the highest offices in the land, the government, the courts, etc., etc.
Escape velocity, nice.
So,
well, not nice in the fact that it's communism, but you know what I mean.
So
it's their go-to tool.
Well, the next little clip right here comes from Andrew's favorite guy. You want to know? You want to tell him your favorite guy?
Well, you already put Chris Jericho over. You already put Trump and Putin over, according to the people who are the haters. So
I'll give you a hint. He's bald just like you. Only he's ashamed of it.
Oh, okay. I guess Tim Pool.
All right. Let's see what Tim has to say when it pertains to the culture war.
Viral photos of the liberals get so crazy about it. It showed 12 kids all lined up from tallest to shortest. And the mother was smiling like this. And then they were like, man, they should tie your tubes or whatever. And it's just like, that picture is your defeat.
Yes.
And I don't have kids.
The sexual liberation people are like, sterilize her now.
Oh no, there's going to be too many of them. We can't indoctrinate them quick enough. So I don't know if I worry about it too much. I mean, I think we have to speak up against it because we have to maintain the barrier where we're talking to people, and the people who are willing to listen and understand what's happening will be pulled from it. But the end result, no matter what, whether we talk about it or not, will be the total collapse of this ideology. That being said, I think conversations like this will protect a larger group of people. If we weren't talking about it, if we weren't fighting back against it, 10%, of whatever group may persist, we talk about it, we could actually save a larger amount of people from the corrupt
100%.
ideology.
Corrupt
That
ideology.
isn't Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan would also be bald, but Joe Rogan doesn't hide his baldness under a beanie.
Well, that's true. He's a man.
He's a man's man. But
That's why
let's
he had to be on with a lawyer when he had the Twitter people on, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. Because he's a man. He's a man's man, so he needed all of his attorneys. But we both digress. When we listen to that, what exactly? Where does Tim lean towards on this idea?
Oh man!
Obviously, he's shit talking the shit libs, but
well, I think
why do
he's
you think
definitely he's getting to the point to talk about the sexual market dysregulation and how they didn't replace it with anything and just basically left it as a decentralized mess. And it's had some blowback in the course of higher amounts of crimes and no consequences because somebody is always there to, pay the price for the incompetent behavior of the parents.
Why would Tim care? If it wasn't for the sexual revolution, he wouldn't be allowed to go fuck another man.
I mean, that's a really good question. I don't know when you ask him. When you're on next week, welcome, Zach.
No, there's no fallacy. Tim is banging Ian.
I mean,
there's no lie about it. The way that they look at each other's eyes every time they speak on that IRL, Tim IRL, Timcast IRL, whatever the fuck you call it.
In real life,
but in real life. What is the difference between Robert and Tim's take, though? Is there really a difference, though? Because they're taking effectively the same narrative, splicing it with their own words, and utilizing different definitions for that general narrative that they're speaking of, but then talking about the same old shit.
It's just a divergent in context. There's two different, frameworks here. They work for the same under the same situation, but with different, backgrounds and histories.
And meanwhile, while they essentially talk shit about one side over the other, they play the blame game. So from Tim's perspective, it is blaming the liberals, gets you calling out one side. And on from Robert's perspective, his talking point, he is blaming the right through the means of it being Russian propaganda. Although
they're moderates.
Tim might be
the middleman between the different points of view to try to draw in an audience.
I will give Robert one thing of credit by utilizing Putin talking points. I mean, we already know that Tim took money from a Russian media outlet.
I mean, more power to him. That's state money right there, man. That's security.
Yeah. So it's kind of proved that. Well, the thing about it is both sides are just propaganda, and it's just Tim just kind of proves it.
I mean,
at least he's more than willing to. I mean, at least Tim has the balls, I guess. He doesn't really have the balls because he's not going to ever admit to anything. But at least, I guess you could say, metaphorically speaking, he has the balls to actually oust himself, his business, as a propaganda
I thought he sold to Israel.
Yeah, he sold to Israel after the Russia thing. Tenet Media was the Russian thing.
Russia,
now
Russia, Russia.
now he's a fucking Jew shill. That's what the beanie is. It's just a gigantic yarmulke.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Robert is just a shill for big government. Just big government. Expand government. I mean, that's all it is. They're both talking heads for fascism. Because the socialist revolution's always going to lead down the road of fascism, because you're never going to achieve the utopia of what communism or capitalism is. With that, rather, you're never going to achieve the perfection of a stateless society of kumbaya all around the campfire and we share everything. Here, have my penis.
This is where psychology comes in. There's no perfect society. We're all flawed in different ways, and that's the beauties of markets.
Says the communist.
Hey, I'm a capitalist, baby. That's what the fuck you think it is.
Communists for the fucking rich, dude. Communists for the bankers. Yeah, capitalist, communism, same fucking thing, just on a different level. The bankers want communism for the masses because it's a dystopia that they can control you as a serf and property of the state, while the bankers want capitalism or communism for the rich so that they can control the monopoly of capital. It all goes back to the means of production.
You've been reading that
who
Marx
controls?
book, you're one of those bourgeoisie types.
Bourgeoisie are the capitalists. I'm an entrepreneur. I would prefer you read Per Bylan rather than Karl Marx. Learn the difference between an entrepreneur and a capitalist. Let's just put it that way.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
actually,
capitalism still needs to
I think we had an episode with him. We should go check it out sometime. Or you should. Yeah.
Yeah, check that out. So, but with that being said, why are we still at this crossroads to not be able to put down this pathetic culture war in our political systems today?
Well, it's because we kicked the can down the road, right? We need a big finale, and it's too soon. We already have a second civil war on the front lines here. We got to get through that, and then we go to the big deal. That's what everybody says. There's a civil war coming. There's a civil war coming.
Most people are they're asleep at the wheel. They're on autopilot. Everybody's too propagandized to actually care. It's my side against yours. But at the same time, we're the same. I mean, for fuck's sake, Trump is basically doing the same thing that the right was bitching about Biden for.
Like back in the 80s, a Republican who turned a Democrat, or a Democrat turned Republican.
Yeah. So, well, I got another clip, and I'm going to. We're going to put all this together. We're transitioning to the next clip. You don't have to say it. Just let me finish. But this clip right here, I think, culminates both sides, put it together, and then just throws it all into the garbage can, because I think we need to forget. I think we forget that everybody has a specific culture. Nothing in life is perfect, and we're gonna have issues no matter what. But sometimes you just gotta laugh at those issues, and
you gotta spray it.
And then you got to spray it. Exactly.
The Whites, small town in Ohio. And it was wintertime, and it had snowed recently, so there were huge snowdrifts on the street. I was walking with my sister. Now, my sister was dressed in all Muslim garb, as were her children. And I was dressed as Dave Chappelle. And we were walking and just talking about something, and a car sped around the corner, and the window came down, and somebody threw a snowball and hit me right in my shoulder. I didn't know what was going on. Why was this happening? Because I'm black? Because she's Muslim? Because I'm Dave Chappelle? I couldn't tell. But again, I knew it was premeditated. Because who the fuck has a snowball in a warm car? But they didn't think it all the way through, lady, because he went around the corner and got stopped at the red light. He was caught in the traffic. So then I ran out into the street and I just tapped on his window. Hey, my man, can I just talk to you guys for a second? Come on out for a second. I just want to talk to you. There's 4 young white dudes in the car. They're like, just chill, bro. Just relax. I just want to talk. Now, this is an old black trick. Really, I didn't want to talk. I was going to fuck them up. If you're ever caught in traffic and a black guy starts saying he just want to talk to you, don't open the door. And even if he's me, smiling at you. And they were like, chill, bro, just chill. And then the one guy in the back seat, I don't know what, he was just cockier than his friends. He was like, good man, I'll get out the car. And I started yanking on his door. Let me help you. Let me just help you out. And I didn't notice his window was down. And he threw a snowball that shit hit me right in my chest. Pow. He said, fuck you, you fucking nigger. And then the light turned green and they sped off. And I smiled from ear to ear. I looked at my sister and she said, I got the plates. And I was happy as shit because throwing a snowball at a motherfucker is a misdemeanor assault. But if you call him a nigger when you do it, that's a felony hate crime.
Misdirection.
Misdirection. Exactly. What's funny about that is it kind of puts everything into perspective. Everything's a fucking meme.
Yes, it is.
It also goes to show you that anything negative or positive, every choice, every action that you put into reality has consequences. So the thing about it is when the guy with the final guy in the back seat that he's playing off of says, "Fuck you," and throws the snowball, and then they all drive off at the green light. The consequences of that is what? They got the license plate. Now, and he's exactly right. That's assault. But in today's day and age, you do have what's called a hate crime. So he said the N-word, so you just turned a misdemeanor assault into a felony hate crime. So out of the humor, trying to act like dumbass, youthful retards, having fun, you just fucked yourself. But what Dave is doing right there is exactly to your point, Andrew. Is he's misdirecting the fact of where culture has diverted itself by utilizing humor to escalate the funniness, the funniness of everything in life.
Absurd. The absurdity.
You're absurd.
That's none of my business. Oh yes, I am.
You're also a bit obtuse.
Obscure, obtuse. Well,
so
what can I say?
But to culminate into all of these clips, what do they all have together? How do they resemble each other?
Just how pointless it all is.
Just how pointless it all is. Very good, Andrew. Well, I'm gonna go get the hell out of here. But while I'm gone, remember everybody, live long and prosper, and take responsibility for yourselves. And the hell with everything else. Everything else is just a blip. Life is what you make it.
Absolutely.
I am the legacy of Jenny Kaiser. That's Andrew Joseph. And you know what to do, Andrew. Peace, yo.
Hey, sir. Can I ask you a question? What are you doing here? Oh, you looking for something? What are you looking for? I think he's looking for the door.
I'm going to have to leave now, but I was sure I came in by that door over there. Hey, man, where's the door to get out of here?
Oh, it's right over there, sir.
Right over where?
The exit sign? Exit sign? It's that door right there.
That red sign?
Yeah, just go right that way.
Okay.
I think it went down the wrong door.
Where am I? Hey, what the fuck's wrong with you? That's not the right door.
Sir, you're gonna want to go to the one with the exit. You went to the door to the side there.
I went to the right doors and where you pointed me to, you fuck.
I pointed you to the exit.
Man, you're fucking with the wrong guy.
I'm sorry.
You see this bulge on my hip? You know what that is?
That's a gun.
That's a Glock. You're fucking with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Don't ever send me to the wrong door.